Senator Groney is just a mirror of what's been systemic.
On Friday, Christina Pinnacle turned the tables on the power dynamic of this institution.
As a mom of 2 boys, I resent and I reject the idea that boys and men can't do better.
Powerful statements from senators on the floor of Nebraska's legislature.
Now they plan to move forward in the wake of the allegations.
On your side, this is WOWT 6 News, live at 5.
New tonight, the Nebraska State Patrol is leading the investigation into former Senator Mike Groney. Groney admitted to taking photos of one of his female staffers without her knowledge.
The aide said that she found photos of herself on Groney's computer, including close-ups of provocative body parts. As Brian Mastery reports, even though the senator has since resigned, there will be a second set of investigators looking into his computer.
These 3 state senators met for the first time today as part of a special personnel panel. They'll hire an outside law firm to investigate Mike Groney's computer. Who else had knowledge or saw the photos, and if so, why they did not act. The panel has also been tasked with looking at legislative policies. Could there be improvements to the issues of workplace harassment?
It is important for their work to be transparent, and I have asked the panel to prepare a report that can be shared with the public and the body.
After a few minutes of legislative housekeeping.
And I did a call of the House to say to the men in this body, you need to listen.
Women, who make up 27% of the Nebraska legislature, shared their personal stories of being harassed over the years and marginalized in the workplace.
The courage of one woman to go to the press is the only reason I believe Mike Groney faced consequences at all.
But when something like this happens to you, it happened to me years ago, and what happens is that your basic trust level of the world is disrupted.
Some lawmakers question how serious their colleagues are when it comes to change and making the arena a safe place for those who feel wronged. After all, they've heard it all before.
We can't take a joke. That's not it. This is more than a joke.
The name Groney has been replaced by a blank brass marker in the Unicam. Instead of 49 senators, there are 48 now.
My concern is that Senator Groney has run away from this. I don't think he needed to resign. I think that he is missing an opportunity to make amends, to self-reflect, and to play a leadership role in improving the institution.
I'm Brian Mastery reporting, 6 News.
State Patrol investigators will pass along its findings to the Attorney General. The same for the law firm if it uncovers potential criminal activity.
Well, we wanted to give you a live look over 90th and West Dodge Road from our camera top Children's Hospital Medical Center. There is ice blocking most of the view. That's the problem. And a windsock. Can you see it blowing in the breeze there?
I can see the wind blowing, but I can definitely see that ice right there on that camera. Oh, it's been a chilly one out there today.
Tells a story, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we've actually issued a first alert day for tomorrow morning. Hey, Emily.
Hey, yeah, that picture really summing up the weather. It's windy and it's cold, and that's why we have a first alert day for tomorrow morning because of that wind chill factor. It's going to be intense as you're heading out the door tonight into early Wednesday. We have wind chill advisories in place out across the region. These are going to kick in at 6 o'clock and run through noon tomorrow. We're talking about feels like temperatures for some as cold as 30 below. You're going to feel this as you head out there tonight through tomorrow morning. This can create frostbite in as little as 30 minutes to exposed skin. We're already picking up on some of that wind chill factor out there this evening. It feels like 11 below right now in Omaha, 14 below for that feels like temperature around Council Bluffs, and it feels like 9 below right now around Valley. It's only going to get colder from here, and as you're heading out the door early tomorrow morning, that's when we have that concern for those quicker frostbite times early in the day. And it's not just tomorrow. We have another first alert day on the horizon for Thursday. We're talking about accumulating snow potential, and that could create some commute concerns. So we'll take you through the hour-by-hour forecast and let you know how much to expect coming up. Lauren?
Well, Emily, an Iowa State trooper was hurt overnight while helping with a crash. The State Patrol just confirmed to 6 News the trooper was inside his cruiser at the time of the crash. It happened just after 1 o'clock this morning along Interstate 29. This happened near the Loveland exit just north of the Omaha Metro. According to the Iowa State Patrol, 4 people, including a state trooper, were injured when a car hit a patrol cruiser. Investigators said that the trooper was helping with a crash when a separate driver lost control, hit a guardrail, and then slammed into the parked patrol vehicle. The driver of that second car suffered minor injuries. Their passenger was in worse condition and is still recovering in the hospital. The state trooper also suffered minor injuries. As tensions escalate between Russia and Ukraine, President Joe Biden took more action today. 6 News Sharon Chen here now from the live desk to break down the new round of sanctions.
All right, John and Lauren, today the president sharpened his language, now calling Putin's aggression as an invasion. Speaking from the East Room of the White House, the president announced severe economic sanctions against Russia. The president says that these sanctions will target the Russian bank VEB and Russia's sovereign debt, virtually cutting the country off from Western financing. It also targets Russia's elites and their family members. Biden also warned that Russia will pay a steeper price if Putin continues his aggression.
Who in the Lord's name does Putin think gives him the right to declare new so-called countries on territory that belong to his neighbors? This is a flagrant violation of international law and demands a firm response from the international community.
And even as the president rolled out the sanctions, he also announced new U.S. troop movements into NATO allied countries. But the president says that he is still hoping for a peaceful diplomatic resolution. Meantime, NATO allied nations have more than 100 jets on high alert. And top U.S. allies also enacted their own sanctions, the U.K. targeting Russian banks and oligarchs, as Germany hit the brakes on a key natural gas pipeline from Russia. From the live desk, I'm Sharon Chen. John, we'll send it to you.
Well, Sharon, President Joe Biden's State of the Union address is set for March 1st. We learned today that Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds will provide the Republican response. She'll deliver her speech from Des Moines after the president wraps his speech. Reynolds is a vocal opponent of mask and federal COVID vaccine mandates.